Hi, my name is Michelle,
And my name is Terry.
and we are Widows Helping Widows. And today we're starting a little different path with our videos. We have not done any videos talking about dating yet. So this subject has come up a lot lately in our support group. And so we thought we might start talking about dating a little bit. The number one thing we hear really is, when do I know I'm ready? I think I'm ready, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So how do I know I'm ready?
Well, with me, Michelle, I didn't start dating probably till about 2 years after my husband died. I thought I was ready, but looking back, I wasn't ready.
Right.
And I'll tell you the reason why. So I would go out on dates and, I would be sitting at dinner and the conversation would, be flowing. And then I would say, well, my husband this, my husband that, my husband this. And they would kind of just look at me very strange. But my husband was a big and still is part of my life. And even though I was going out on dates, I still felt like I was married. It was a crazy feeling. But to say the least, no one ever called me back. They probably thought I was crazy. So my best friend, I was like, no one's ever called me back for a second date. He said, well, what are you saying? And I said, well, I'm talking about my husband. He said, oh, maybe you shouldn't say that. Maybe you'll get a second date. So that's my experience of just starting to date after 2 years of my husband's death. How about you, Michelle?
I also waited, I guess it was probably closer to about 2.5 years. I remember thinking, because my son was so young, I remember thinking, I don't want to date a lot. I never liked dating.
Yeah.
I didn't like dating. And I always dated one person at a time, because this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's not like dating now, which
No,
is
not now.
a whole different topic.
Yes.
But I prayed a lot, and I prayed, God, I really just want to meet the person I'm supposed to marry. I know everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
Everybody feels that way. But I really just said, Lord, I don't want to date around. I really don't. I would love to just meet somebody and know it's right, And I remember the first person I met, I actually ended up marrying, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember, that first date, I was so excited yet so nervous at the same time. And I remember thinking the whole time, like, I know this is okay, but I feel like I'm cheating almost.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I kept thinking, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And after thinking about it for a while, when you lose a spouse to death, when they die, it's not like a breakup.
No, it's
And
not.
it's not like a divorce. There is no cut and dry, we're done, we're finished.
That's exactly right.
No papers signed, no words exchanged about the end of our relationship. And so it just feels like it's so unfinal.
That's exactly right.
And so that's why I was like, okay. I mean, we know it's final.
Yeah.
I mean, we honored our vows, like
That's
you
exactly
talk about
right.
a lot. But I remember thinking, that's why it just felt, so
Unfinished.
unfinished at first, the first, but it quickly, when you're with the right person, you learn, okay, this is okay, and it's comfortable. But, people ask, when do we know I'm ready? And I think sometimes you don't know.
No, you don't.
Until you start to date.
That's exactly right.
And that's when you find out.
And I know, like, from our conversation from our meetup yesterday, that question came up. When is it a good time to start dating? And really, there's no definite answer. Everybody is in different phases of their journey grief and different phases of when they want to go out there and date. It's whatever your journey looks like for you. And some people have gone out and dated and then said, well, maybe, no, I'm not sure about this person, and kind of gave the dating scene a little break and then jump back into the dating scene. So, it's everybody's individual preference on what they want to do.
It really is, yeah. And I think it's interesting. What we've seen is men usually start dating earlier than women do.
True.
You agree?
I mean, there's a saying, I think, women grieve, men replace. Now, I don't know. That's just a saying I heard. Don't get upset with me.
If you're a widower, don't get upset.
Yeah, don't get upset. That's what I just heard.
Yeah. but it's true. You know, not every
No,
widower.
we're not categorizing.
No, but we do see that that's true a lot of times.
That trend, I guess. That
trend. That's a good word to say. That trend. A lot of times men are ready in the first year, and a lot of times women it takes a couple of years.
Right.
But we've seen some women jump back into it, and
That's right.
think really the most important thing I think is making sure that you're emotionally ready as you can be, because we've seen a lot of people get divorced.
Yeah, and they say it's 50% higher.
The divorce rate is definitely higher. Yeah, amongst widows and widowers.
Yeah,
because we compare.
True.
And
rush into things.
We settle. A lot of times people will settle. And so it's really important that you are also emotionally fit. Yeah. As much as you can be, because it's it's a whole different world out there when you start to date after you've lost a spouse. You know, and it's different.
It is different, and not only that, Michelle. Core values, whoever you date, should always be there. But you're not going to find the exact person that you were married to, even though we wish we could. That has all the things you liked, all the qualities you liked, everything y'all did together. Unfortunately, for me, I have not found that. But and there's a lot of people in our group haven't found the exact person who they were married to, but they found people that have different interests that they still were able to have a committed relationship with and also be able to marry. Now you can talk about that, Michelle, because both of your husbands are quite different.
They are. They're very different. We said the core values are the same.
Yes.
You know, Christians, very family oriented, and high morals. You know,
great character.
Great character. Great fathers.
Yes.
You know, and so it's true. You know, it's interesting. We've talked about in past videos. Grief changes you.
Yes.
And so the husband I needed after my grief journey, after I got through most of it, was different than what I needed in before. You know, my current husband, we've been married almost 19 years, so a long time, and very different, very different than my first husband. My first husband was was a writer. He was very into liberal arts. He was a musician. My current husband is an engineer. You know, he's a software engineer, very logic-minded, and but I love him so much. And it's interesting because people say, well, how do I know I'm going to be able to love somebody else like I did my first husband? You know, it's not like a divorce. It's not like we were just dating and broke up. This is totally different.
Totally different.
And it's for me, to explain it, it's kind of like when you have children. You have one child and you think, oh my gosh, I love this child so much. And then you get pregnant with a second child and you think, oh, I'm having another child. Am I going to... In the back of your mind as a mom, you go, am I going to love this child as much as I do my first? And you have that second child, and you love them just as much, but for different reasons, because every child is different.
That's true.
That's the same, I feel like, with my second husband. I love him so much, but he's completely different than my first husband. But what I need now is different than what I needed when I was younger and married the first time. And so, the comparison, what is the comparison is the end of joy, or is the killer of joy. There's a and so
because you can't compare
because you can't compare.
You can't do it.
No two people are alike.
No,
and I think that's one reason why a lot of widows end up in divorce.
Yeah,
is because of the comparison issue. So
that's true. I guess the main thing we can say is take your time.
Yes,
you'll know when you're ready out there to date someone. You know the qualities that you are looking for, what type of person you want to find, have a relationship with. And if you're interested in getting remarried, you'll feel that and know that, just like you did with your spouse that you had married the first time.
Yeah. And sometimes people are never ready to date.
That's true. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Absolutely not. And if you decide that you want to just remain single the rest of your life, that's okay too. Yeah. I think people think, what's wrong with me if I don't want to date? And there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing absolutely wrong with you. But yeah, I would definitely say make sure that, I think you need to feel 90% sure.
Yeah, I
You
would
know
think
what I
so.
mean?
Yeah,
90%.
at least 90%.
At least 90% sure that you're ready to date in order to just put your, dip your toe in that dating world. But I don't know if you're ever 100% ready. I don't know. Did you feel 100% ready when you first started dating?
No, I did not.
I didn't
No.
either.
Mm-mm.
I was about 95% sure I wanted to date.
Yeah,
you know?
me too. But not 100.
Not 100.
No.
And my current husband and I are really good friends.
And that's very important.
Yeah, we started a really strong friendship first. Yeah. And I feel like because we did that, we have a really strong marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we know, being married, there are days when things aren't so romantic.
Right.
And the reality of life sets in.
That's true.
But if you can get along with each other as a friend,
that's the basis.
You'll always have a friend in your marriage.
That is the basis. That is the foundation.
Absolutely.
That a marriage should be built upon.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes we take dating a little too seriously at first.
I think so too.
I think we're all ready to be, everyone's ready to be in a relationship. But like you said, taking your time is so important.
Just go out and have fun with someone.
Absolutely.
You don't have to look at that person as being your person.
Mm-hmm.
They may or they may not be.
Right.
And but that's okay.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But you're at least getting out there.
Yes, that's the important part if you're ready to do that. And, worst case scenario, you don't get along, okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said before too, sometimes it's just someone to be a friend with.
That's exactly
It's just great to have someone to go to the movie with or meet for coffee. If it doesn't end up being on the romantic side, at least you have a friend, another friend.
That's exactly right.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Michelle, you want to tell everybody how they can get in contact with us?
Absolutely. So we have a YouTube channel, as you see. Our YouTube channel is Widows Helping Widows TX. We'd love for you to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. We also have a email address, and that is widowshelpingwidowstx@gmail.com.
And we have a meetup group. We meet twice a month, one time in person in the Frisco, Texas area. So we would love to see you if you're in the Frisco, Texas area. And the second meeting we have is on Zoom. You can find all that information on meetup.com. And the name you would search for is Widows Helping Widows.
Yes. So we'd like to know about your journey too. Like, are you thinking about dating? Are you in that dating world yet? We'd love you to comment below. Let us know what you're going through right now as far as your dating or non-dating journey.
Yes, so with that, thank you so much for listening and joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a wonderful day.